Dear students, now we will discuss the next step in this lesson of issue of debenture, that is interest on debenture. Basically, interest on debenture is generally paid by the company half yearly. Now, when the interest on debenture is paid by the company, as per the provisions of the Income Tax Act, company has to deduct certain amount of tax if it is due against the interest income, and that amount is to be deposited by the company in the treasury or in the government account. So here we have to understand what journal entries will be recorded at the time of making payment or when the interest on debentures become due. Interest on debenture is basically a charge against the profit of the company. When I say the charge against the profit of the company, it means whether there is profit or loss, company has to make the payment of interest as a part of compulsory obligation. Now, when the interest becomes due and when the interest is paid to the debenture holder, what journal entries will be recorded? Let's understand. First, when the interest becomes due, debenture interest is an expense on the part of the company. The entry will be debenture interest account debit to debenture holder and to the income tax payable or to the TDS. TDS here means the tax deducted at source. So what the company will do, out of the total interest which is becomes due, the amount of tax as per the rate of the income tax which is applicable on that interest will be deducted by the company, and the remaining amount is paid by to the debenture holder, and the tax will be deposited in the government account. Next entry you will see in the second entry, debenture holder account debit to bank account when the interest is paid to the debenture holder. Third entry will be income tax deposit in the government account. Entry will be income tax payable account debit or TDS payable account debit to bank account for payment of income tax. And the last entry will be at the end of the year, the total amount of interest. I repeat here, total amount means these above three entries will be recorded half yearly with the same amount. As I told you that interest on debenture is payable half yearly, the above three entries will be recorded at every half year at the end when the debentures interest becomes due and it is paid. But at the end of the year, that is on 31st March, the last entry, the fourth entry will also be made. That entry will be for transfer of debenture interest to statement of profit and loss account at the end of the year, which means the total interest which is paid by the company will be charged off to the statement of profit or loss account, or to be written off from the statement of profit and loss account with the total interest of both the half years. Entry will be statement of profit and loss account debit to interest account. So this way interest on debentures will be shown in the books of account and its accounting treatment will be done. The last part of this lesson is associated with the writing off of discount or loss on issue of debentures. Now open page 8.36 from your books. See here, a very important information is given that as per the revised CBSE guidelines, discount or loss on issue of debenture. Now discount, as already you know, when the debentures are issued at discount. Loss, as I told you, when the debentures are to be redeemed at premium. The premium payable by the company is a loss on the part of the company. So whether the discount or loss on the issue of debenture, it will be completely written off from the security premium reserve account, if any, or if it exists, or if it is sufficient. But if it is not sufficient, then from the general reserve, and even if general reserve is not there, then from the statement of profit and loss account of that particular year. Earlier, it used to be written off depending upon the amount of the debenture to be redeemed in the different year. But as per the revised provisions of the Companies Act and the CBSE guidelines, the total amount of discount or loss on issue of debenture must be written off only in the year in which it will be occurs or in which year it has been given. And from where it is to be written off? it is to be written off either out of the security premium reserve account if it is sufficient, and if it is not sufficient, then from the general reserve account. And even if general reserve account is having not sufficient balance, then it will be written off from the statement of profit or loss account, simply from the profit and loss account. Journal entry will be very simply for writing off this discount: security premium reserve account debit, or general reserve account debit, or statement of profit and loss account debit to discount or loss on issue of debentures. So this way the journal entry will be recorded relating to the writing off of discount or loss on issue of debentures. In our next class, we will continue with last lesson, that is the redemption of debentures. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.